We are so glad that you have enjoyed our weekly podcast of SideQuest. We hope that you continue to listen and enjoy the exciting world of the Land of Sojourn. We firmly believe that music enhances the listening experience. Unfortunately, we are unable to include music directly on YouTube. Therefore, we recommend that you listen to Smells Like Teen Spirit by Malia J on your favorite streaming service before each episode. In the realm of Sojourn, where every shadow might conceal a foe and every path can twist into peril, the true power lies not just in the might of our arms, but in the sharpness of our minds. As I journey through these lands, I have learned that the greatest victories are won not solely by the strength of our swords, but by the clarity of our thoughts. Each encounter is a puzzle, each adversary a riddle, and it is our commitment to thinking, our dedication to understanding the world around us, that ultimately tips the scales in our favor. In this game, intelligence is as much a weapon as any blade. It is the beacon that guides us through the darkest of dungeons and the key that unlocks the most formidable of challenges. When I speak of using wits and intelligence, I speak of the courage to question, to strategize, and to adapt. The Land of Sojourn is ever-changing, and those who rely solely on brute force will find themselves outmatched by the cunning and resourceful. In my journey, I have come to see that the mind is a battlefield all its own, where ideas clash and strategies are forged. It is here, in this crucible of thought, that true mastery is achieved. So, to all adventurers who seek to conquer this land, remember this. Let your mind be as sharp as your sword and your spirit as unyielding as your shield, for in the dance of battle, it is the harmony of intellect and strength that will lead you to triumph. Disney Princess in the Land of Sojourn, being interviewed by Guildmaster Quinn Sotube, February 2024. Part 1, The Way of the Adventures Guild.
Kyle could hardly contain his excitement as he logged out of the deep-dive immersive reality game, The Land of Sojourn. All the news about the Cathedral of Chaos. The latest update had just dropped, or was it connected to something else, Andrew thought? Well, regardless, it was all anyone could talk about on SoTube. Rumors were swirling about the legendary Knull the Destroyer finally being killed in glorious battle, and a new level opening up called the Tundra of the First Man. Wow, another level. Wow, thought Kyle out loud. But what thrilled Kyle the most was unlocking a new mission titled One of Us with the Guard. It was a rare opportunity to work alongside the city guard, and he couldn't wait to dive into it. As he grabbed his backpack and headed out the door, Kyle's mind was buzzing with possibilities. Another new mission would take him to the City of Hope. It would also involve meeting his headmaster at the Arcanum School of Magic. Just then, his phone buzzed with a message from Andrew, his good friend and fellow gamer. "On my way to pick you up for school. Was worried about you sleeping in the game," it read. Kyle grinned. Andrew was always punctual, and their morning rides to Newport High on Thursdays he cherished. Andrew pulled up in his white Honda Civic, the morning sun glinting off the freshly polished surface. As he rolled down the window, he greeted Kyle with a casual peace sign. Kyle, sporting a pair of sleek sunglasses, returned the gesture with an inward-facing peace sign of his own, a wide grin spreading across his face. He approached the car with a spring in his step, feeling more energized than he had in weeks. Sliding into the passenger seat, he couldn't wait to share his newfound secret with Andrew. "Man, you won't believe how amazing I feel," Kyle exclaimed, adjusting his sunglasses as he settled in. "I slept in the virtual reality game last night for 5 hours, but it felt like I got a full 12 hours of deep, restful sleep." Andrew raised an eyebrow, intrigued by the idea. "Seriously, that's incredible," he replied, glancing over at his friend. Kyle nodded enthusiastically. "Yeah, it's like the perfect recharge. I woke up feeling completely rejuvenated and ready to tackle anything today throws at us." As they drove off, the possibilities of the day ahead seemed endless. Kyle couldn't help but share his excitement about the new mission. "You won't believe it, Andrew. I unlocked One of Us with the city guards," he exclaimed. Andrew, usually the more reserved of the two, was visibly impressed. "That's incredible, Kyle. "You know what this means, right?" he said, his eyes glinting with intrigue. Andrew then revealed something that left both of them in stunned silence. "I've discovered my special seed skill," he said, "that lets anyone in a clan registered within the land of sojourn share their special seed skill." The weight of this revelation settled over them, and for a few minutes the car was filled with nothing but the hum of the engine. It was a game changer, and they both knew it. Kyle broke the silence with a few simple words. "It's a game changer." Hell, it was not just a game changer, it was a game maker. Clans would be invincible if one player held this power. "This is the biggest thing to happen since SO was created," said Kyle out loud. "Well, that's settled, Andrew. I am playing with you every second of the game. No way will I let you get all these epic, or rather mythic-level loot, man," he said decisively. Andrew also nodded in agreement with Kyle's words. He continued, "We have been debating forming a small clan, but really wanted to wait until you joined. A clan can be formed with at least 8 members, and you bring us to 8. I feel like it's also the only way to protect you," he replied, understanding the importance of banding together. "We need to be able to help each other and not be picked off by other groups." They began brainstorming names, tossing around ideas inspired by their hometown of Huntington Beach, California. Yet each suggestion seemed to fall short of capturing the essence of what they envisioned. "Yeah," said Kyle, "we have never come close on a name." And starting to laugh, "Daisuke wanted to name us the color red." "He actually got a little mad we didn't agree," finished Kyle. Ultimately, they realized they needed more input. "Let's talk with everyone else," Kyle suggested. Andrew agreed, knowing that their friends would bring fresh perspectives to the table. As they walked toward the entrance of Newport High, Andrew glanced around to make sure no one was listening before leaning closer to Kyle. "There's something else I need to tell you," he said, his voice barely above a whisper. "I have a secret mission meeting with Tamika Glass at the Emberstone College of Magic." Kyle's eyes widened in disbelief. The Emberstone College was renowned as the most powerful school of magic in all the land of sojourn, a place shrouded in mystery and prestige. It was incredibly hard to find the missions to be admitted to this school, as the admission criteria changed daily. No Sotube channel was able to master the magic formula to get the quests, and they only admitted 25 magicians a month. Millions of players with only a 0.01% change to enter felt wrong. What made it so difficult was the strict class criteria, where knights and thieves were usually restricted from entry, and only pure magicians or magical beasts could enter. It was like Harvard had a Harvard College to enter. The best of the absolute bests. Kyle couldn't help but feel a pang of envy. "You're meeting Tamika Glass? That's incredible, Andrew. She's a legend," he said, trying to mask his jealousy with genuine excitement for his friend. The opportunity to even set foot in Emberstone was something most players could only dream of, let alone meet with someone as influential as Tamika Glass. Kyle felt a mix of admiration and longing, wishing he could experience such a momentous event. But Andrew wasn't finished. "And get this," he continued, "I've also been meeting with the guild masters, Dash and Beth. We've had multiple meetings now." Kyle's jaw dropped. The guild masters were revered figures within the game, known for their wisdom and strategic prowess. Meeting them once was a rare honor, but multiple times? It was unheard of. Kyle felt a swirl of emotions, pride for his friend, awe at Andrew's achievements, and a touch of envy for the unprecedented experiences Andrew was having. "So much is happening for you, Andrew," Kyle said, shaking his head in amazement. "It's like you're on a whole different level from the rest of us." Andrew nodded, understanding the weight of his friend's words. "I know it's been a whirlwind," he admitted. "But I couldn't have done it without the support of our group, and that's why forming our clan is so important. We need to bring everyone together and share these opportunities." As they reached their lockers, Kyle felt a renewed sense of determination. He realized that while Andrew's path was unique, it was also a beacon of possibility for what could be achieved with teamwork and dedication. "Let's make this clan happen," Kyle said, with newfound resolve. "We have to rally everyone and make sure we're all ready for whatever comes next." Andrew smiled, grateful for Kyle's unwavering support. Together, they knew they could face any challenge the land of Sojourn had to offer. As they parted, the rest of the day unfolded much like the morning. Andrew's friends were still in shock over the revelation of his seed skill. Lunch was a quiet affair, with everyone sitting in silence, processing the unique ability they now had to share in each other's seed skills and the revelations that awaited them. Daisuke even commented on how he was unusually quiet and not himself, absorbed in the mountain of information. They primarily ate in silence, each alone with their thoughts. Jessica broke the silence at the very end. "Guys, I feel kind of stupid for not telling anyone, but I'm a graduate of Emberstone College," she confessed. The admission hung in the air, a surprising twist that no one saw coming. Kyle and Mike were the first to express their profound, comical shock. "Why on God's green earth would you not tell us this?" Mike exclaimed, his tone a mix of frustration and disbelief. Daisuke, ever the smart aleck, crossed his arms and looked comically smug. "It's like we don't even know you," he quipped, then snapped his fingers dramatically. "Ha ha ha! Look, guys, I'm back!" His antics lightened the mood, drawing chuckles from the group. Kyle joined in, shaking his head in mock exasperation. "Why, oh, why would you not tell us?" he echoed, his voice teasing yet curious. Jessica explained that when she first applied to Emberstone, her high elf status led to her quick acceptance. She never understood why, but as everyone expressed their frustration at not being part of it, she remained quiet. She feared being looked down upon as a pretty high elf, especially since graduates were often resented for their power. What was once prestigious had turned into a source of envy and disdain. Jessica took a deep breath, her eyes reflecting a mix of vulnerability and resolve. "You know, the real disdain came from the players who were envious and jealous," she explained. "They turned on a lot of us who graduated because of their frustration at not having made it themselves. It was like a badge of honor turned into a target on our backs. People assumed we thought we were better than them, and that resentment grew into something ugly. It wasn't just about being powerful. It was about being isolated, misunderstood. I didn't want to bring that into our group and risk changing how you all saw me." Her voice softened, and she looked around at her friends, grateful for their understanding and support. Kyle leaned back in his chair, pulling out his phone with a smirk. "You know, those players who had such disdain for Emberstone graduates are really looking foolish now," he said, scrolling through his feed. "There are so many videos popping up where people are just roasting them, calling them posers, wannabes, and, well, just plain stupid." He tapped on a video and held it up for everyone to see. "Check this out. It's the latest one that's gone viral, over 100 million views already. It's titled, 'Emberstone College is the GOAT.'" The video played a montage of clips, humorously highlighting the absurdity of the haters' arguments with catchy music and witty commentary. The group laughed along, feeling a sense of vindication for Jessica and all the graduates who had been unfairly targeted. It was clear that the tide was turning, and the true value of Emberstone College was finally being recognized by the wider community. Kyle was quick to give her a reassuring hug. "Don't hide anything from us," he said warmly. "You don't have to worry about that. Hell, Andrew apparently craps gold, and his best friend is the creator of the game, and we still don't hate him." He slowly turned his head in mock disgust toward Andrew, sticking his tongue out playfully. The group burst into laughter at Kyle's antics, the slow, exaggerated head turn drawing out the humor. Mike, caught off guard, snorted milk through his nose, declaring it pure comedic gold, and that head move took like 20 seconds. Kai commented, "Yeah, like a scene from Family Guy." In that moment, the tension eased, and the friends felt closer than ever. They realized that their individual strengths and secrets only made their group more formidable. As the laughter subsided, Jessica chimed in with a newfound confidence. "When you need a friend to take you to the dean, I can definitely help," she said, a playful glint in her eye. "I scored as the head student, top of my class of 35. Her revelation left everyone momentarily speechless, their eyes widening in surprise. It was clear that Jessica had not only survived the challenges of Emberstone, but had thrived, achieving a level of excellence that few could boast. Her friends were impressed, and a newfound respect for her accomplishments filled the air. Daisuke, ever the comedian, stood up dramatically, clutching his chest in mock hurt. "You really hurt me today," he declared, feigning a wounded expression. With a peace sign and a smirk, he turned and walked away, leaving the group in stitches. His antics were a reminder of the light-hearted camaraderie that bound them together, no matter the secrets or surprises that emerged. As the laughter began to die down, Daisuke, still riding the wave of his comedic exit, turned back to the group with a mischievous grin. "I still think we should name the clan Red," he suggested, his eyes twinkling with mock seriousness. Without missing a beat, everyone responded in unison with a resounding no. The synchronized rejection was both firm and playful, drawing another round of chuckles from the group. Daisuke, ever the good sport, put his head down in an exaggerated frown, muttering to himself, "Best name of any clan ever." His melodramatic disappointment only added to the humor, reinforcing the strong bond and shared sense of humor that kept the group close-knit. As they gathered their things and prepared to move on with their day, there was an unspoken understanding that whatever name they chose, it would be one that reflected their unique friendship and shared adventures. During Andrew's class, as he was trying to focus on the lecture, a game notification popped up on his phone from the SO app. It read, "The Way of the Adventurers Guild. Meet with Master Stark Erickson, promptly at 6 p.m. Choose to accept, decline, or reschedule." Andrew's heart skipped a beat at the prospect of embarking on a new quest. He remembered that today his mom, dad, and siblings were out on a field trip, and most of his family wouldn't be home until late at night. Seeing a perfect opportunity to dive into his virtual adventure without interruptions, Andrew quickly hit accept. As soon as he did, another notification flashed on his screen, reminding him to be early or risk forfeiting his quest if he was late by even 5 minutes. The urgency of the message added a thrilling sense of anticipation. Andrew glanced at the clock, mentally calculating how much time he had left after class to prepare for the meeting with Master Stark Erickson. With a determined nod to himself, he resolved to manage his time wisely, ensuring he wouldn't miss this exciting opportunity. The rest of the class seemed to drag on, his mind already buzzing with thoughts of the adventure that awaited him. As the day progressed, Andrew found it increasingly difficult to concentrate on anything other than the upcoming Adventure Guild mission meeting. His thoughts frequently drifted to the moment school would finally be over. He eagerly watched the clock, counting down the minutes until the bell rang at 2:30 p.m. Luckily, Kyle had left his bike at school the previous day, so Andrew had the perfect means to quickly get home. Kyle riding his bike through the familiar streets, he let the cool breeze clear his mind, giving him time to think about the day's events. Along the way, his phone buzzed with messages from Andrew and their friends, each suggesting potential names for their guild or clan. They humorously refuted each other's ideas, still unable to settle on the perfect name. As Andrew drove home, he wasted no time. Grabbing a quick snack and using the restroom, he quickly put on his headgear and shroud, feeling the excitement build as he prepared to enter the virtual world. At precisely 3:10 p.m., he turned on the game, ensuring he had ample time to head over and look at Emberstone College and be ready for his 6 p.m. meeting with Master Stark Erickson. The familiar startup screen greeted him, and he felt a rush of anticipation for the adventures that awaited. As he immersed himself in the game, all thoughts of school and the real world faded away, replaced by the thrill of the quest and the camaraderie of his friends.
Stay tuned for part 2 of The Way of the Adventure Guild.